So you're kind of the vet back there, huh?
Absolutely. I'm the older guy now, which is crazy. I feel like my freshman year was just yesterday. So now that I'm an older guy, man, I look to lead this team now this season.
How are you embracing that role now? Kind of, you've had guys, Rubin, Reggie, kind of taking on that role. How are you embracing it?
Just embracing it by just doing the same things they did last year. Just trying to do all the right things on and off the field. So if I can do those things, I feel like that'll help the guys that are surrounding me, who are watching me, and that'll just help their game even more.
How much did stepping in last year kind of help you prepare for this?
Just being able to have that that experience, being able to play on a big stage that I did, being able to be around good mentors like Rubin Foster, who's left. Just being able to be around those things, man, it helps me a lot this year. So now I know whenever it comes again, I'll be ready.
How much more comfortable are you now at inside compared to when you initially made the change?
Yes, I'm a lot more comfortable now. That whole transition when I first started, it was me learning the position, trying to learn the plays. Now that I know the plays, I can play a lot more faster now. So I'll probably say that's the biggest thing.
How did that, especially in the playoffs, what did you learn from that experience that you think is helping you now?
I would say really did not make the stage bigger than what it is. Play with my eyes, being able to be, to trust my instincts and things like that. I mean, the fact that I had success playing on the stage that I did, I feel like just playing in a regular game would be just a lot more easier now, the fact that I did play on that stage last year. So
Ben Davis recently has been working with the outside linebackers. What kind of advice do you give to a linebacker making a switch? I know you guys kind of did the opposite, but
I would say for him, embrace it. I mean, all it does is get you better. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, once he gets to the point in his career where he's about to leave, NFL scouts are going to be looking at that. They're going to be looking like, well, what can he do? I mean, if he can play inside and also outside, all that does is add versatility to his game.
How do you think he'll do at that transition, making that?
I think he'll do well. I mean, for him to be recruited at the University of Alabama, I feel like any guy that's recruited here, I mean, they have a good chance at being good in the NFL, and just the fact that he can play two positions is going to look good on his resume.
You mentioned, are you strictly inside now, or do you think you can still move around some?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, absolutely. I will be moving around. I actually still will be rushing, but I am right now, as far as this spring, I have been just doing strictly inside linebacker.
You mentioned watching Rubin and Reggie, the way they did it. What was your takeaway there as you're learning all this stuff at the same time? What kind of impression did they leave on you?
For me, they were guys that were actual leaders. They didn't just talk and just be a talkative leader. They were more guys that actually led by example. They were very instinctive. Those guys were the type of players that whenever it came down to the last play, they was always there. They were either that guy that was going to make that play. So for me, just learning from those guys, all I'm going to do this year is not just do anything different, but try to just do the same things they've done, if not a little bit better though. So
What did you do this offseason to improve your game?
Really just, like I said, man, just perfecting my craft, really just honing in and learning that inside linebacker position. I feel like I can be the most athletic player in the world, but if I don't know my position, I'm going to look out of place every time. So I feel like if I learn how to do those things, I'll have a better outcome come time game.
With Sean on the shelf, what's that kind of like out there, especially at practice, where you got a whole new group, especially with that first team, you're the only attorney guy.
With that, the thing is that we have a lot of guys that can contribute. Even though Sean is out, I feel like it's gonna put more pressure on the guys that are, who are younger to step up, And even then, when we leave, when me and Sean leave, it's going to be the same thing when they come up. They're going to have to be those guys that have to leave. So I feel like this is really a good situation for everybody in this situation, because now it's allowing those guys to really kind of, get that feel of what it feels like to actually be a leader, actually be a starter as well.
Which